Did you know Berry Gordy was jealous of Eddie Kendricks' involvement with Diana Ross, since he was in love with her? Kendricks claimed that the reason he left The Temptation was constant disagreements with Berry Gordy. Eddie Kendricks was indeed a vocalist of remarkable and distinctive soulfulness. While his name may not have been as widely recognized as his voice, his contributions to music were significant. As one of the co-founders of The Temptations, Kendricks lent his talents to many of the songs that earned the group the nickname, Emperors of Soul. His supple falsetto was a defining element of both The Temptations' sound and his own solo career, gracing several landmark hits and leaving an indelible mark on the world of soul music. So, if you're an Eddie Kendricks or The Temptations fan or simply curious about this legend, hit the like button and let's dive in. Eddie Kendricks' early life. Eddie Kendricks was born on December 17, 1939, in Union Springs, Alabama, to parents Johnny and Lee Bell Kendrick. He had one sister named Patricia, as well as three brothers, Charles, Robert, and Clarence. His family eventually relocated to the Ensley neighborhood of Birmingham, Alabama, where a significant chapter of his musical journey began. It was there that he met and started singing with his close friend Paul Williams in their church choir during the late 1940s. In 1955, Eddie Kendricks, Paul Williams, and their friends Kel Osborne and Jerome Averett came together to form a doo-wop group known as the Cavaliers. They started performing in and around Birmingham, honing their musical skills and style. Seeking better opportunities to advance their musical careers, the group made a pivotal decision to move, and in 1957, they relocated to Cleveland, where they would continue their journey in the world of music. In Cleveland, Eddie Kendricks and his group, which had become known as the Primes, crossed paths with manager Milton Jenkins. Their collaboration with Jenkins proved fruitful, and they subsequently moved to Detroit, Michigan. It was in Detroit that the Cavaliers rebranded themselves as the Primes. Under the management of Milton Jenkins, the Primes found success in the Detroit music scene. Their achievements even extended to the creation of a female counterpart group named the Primettes, which later evolved into the iconic Supremes. However, in 1961, Kel Osborne, one of the group members, relocated to California, which led to the disbandment of the Primes, marking the end of that particular chapter in their musical journey. How Eddie Kendricks joined the Temptations. Eddie Kendricks and Paul Williams found themselves at a pivotal juncture in their musical careers when they joined forces with members Elbridge Al Bryant, Otis Williams, and Melvin Blue Franklin, who were originally part of a group known as Otis Williams and the Distance. This transition occurred after two members of Otis Williams and the Distance decided to leave the group. The newly formed ensemble, with Kendricks, Paul Williams, Al Bryant, Otis Williams, and Melvin Franklin, initially adopted the name The Elgins. However, on the very same day, they made the significant decision to change their name to The Temptations, and subsequently signed with the renowned Motown record label. This moment marked the beginning of the iconic journey of The Temptations, one of the most influential and celebrated vocal groups in the history of soul and R&B music. Did The Temptations struggle or find success instantly after joining Motown? The Temptations initially started their music journey by providing background vocals for Mary Wells. While they faced a dry spell at the outset, Eddie Kendricks, although technically the first tenor in the group's vocal harmony, was well known for his ability to sing in the falsetto register. His falsetto was a defining feature of many Temptations songs. Among the Temptations songs, Kendricks sang lead on several memorable tracks, including Dream Come True, 1962, which was the group's first charting single, and The Way You Do the Things You Do, 1964, their first top 20 hit in the United States. His distinctive falsetto voice played a significant role in shaping the group's signature sound and contributed to their chart-topping success. What were notable songs from Eddie Kendricks? Eddie Kendricks, both as a member of the Temptations and as a solo artist, had several notable songs in his career. As a member of the Temptations. 1. My Girl, Kendricks provided backing vocals in this iconic Temptations hit. 2. The Way You Do the Things You Do, Kendricks sang lead on this classic track, which was one of the group's early hits. 3. Get Ready, Kendricks' lead vocals on this song added to its energetic and memorable performance. 4. Just My Imagination, Running Away With Me, Kendricks sang lead on this soulful and chart-topping hit. 5. Ain't Too Proud to Beg, Kendricks contributed his distinctive voice to this Temptations classic. As a solo artist. 1. Keep on Truckin', Eddie Kendricks' solo career took off with this funky and danceable hit in the early 1970s. 2. Boogie Down, another successful solo track that showcased Kendrick's smooth vocals and danceable rhythms. 3. Girl, You Need a Change of Mind, This song demonstrated Kendrick's versatility as a solo artist. 4. Can I, a soulful and romantic ballad from Kendrick's solo career. Did Eddie Kendricks and Diana Ross have a messy affair? Eddie Kendricks and Diana Ross initially crossed paths during their early singing days. At that time, Eddie was a member of the Primes, which later transformed into the Temptations, while Diana Ross belonged to their sister group, the Primettes, which eventually evolved into the Supremes. Their connection quickly evolved from a close friendship to a romantic relationship. According to credible sources, Eddie Kendricks and Diana Ross began their romantic involvement even before they both signed with Motown Records. They continued to date on and off until Eddie eventually married his first wife, Patricia. Interestingly, it appears that Diana Ross still harbored strong feelings for Eddie even after his marriage. There are reports suggesting that Diana Ross made an attempt to reach Eddie after his marriage by trying to enter their home. When she couldn't gain entry, she resorted to breaking one of their windows, highlighting the depth of her emotions. Despite the dramatic incident, Eddie and Diana managed to maintain a good friendship even after their romantic relationship ended. In fact, Eddie Kendricks continued to provide support to Diana Ross in her music career, and they shared the stage for several performances over the years. Who was Eddie Kendricks' wife and children? Eddie Kendricks eventually found comfort and companionship in the arms of his only wife, Patricia "Pat" Kendrick, as he continued to focus on his solo career. Eddie's love for Pat was deeply reflected in his music, where he channeled his emotions into soulful ballads such as "Intimate Friends" and "Just Memories." The pressures of fame and the strain of maintaining a long-distance relationship eventually took a toll on their marriage, leading to their divorce in 1975. During their time together, they had one son. In total, Eddie Kendricks had 3 children, including sons Paris and Paul and daughter Ika. Was Eddie Kendrick arrested during David Ruffin burial? Former Temptations singer Eddie Kendricks faced a legal issue when he was arrested for failing to meet his child support obligations during his visit to Detroit for the funeral of his colleague, David Ruffin. At the time of this incident, Eddie Kendricks was residing in Marietta, so he was on the jurisdiction area of Detroit. He had previously divorced his wife, Patricia, in 1975 in Detroit, during which he was ordered to make a one-time payment of $25,000 and continue with child support payments for the well-being of their son. Although he served as a pallbearer at David Ruffin's funeral, Kendricks was subsequently taken into custody by deputies and brought before Wayne County Circuit Judge to address the matter of unpaid child support. How Eddie Kendrick died. The collaborative project involving David Ruffin, Eddie Kendricks, and Dennis Edwards was regrettably cut short in 1991 due to health-related issues. Eddie Kendricks was diagnosed with lung cancer during that period, while David Ruffin tragically passed away due to substance overuse. Despite the challenges they faced, Kendricks and Edwards continued to tour together for the remainder of 1991. In late 1991, Eddie Kendricks, who had returned to his hometown of Birmingham, Alabama, underwent surgery to have one of his lungs removed in an attempt to halt the progression of cancer. He believed that his 30 years of smoking had contributed to his illness. Kendricks demonstrated remarkable resilience by resuming his touring activities through the summer of 1992. However, his health took a turn for the worse, and he fell ill again, leading to hospitalization. Tragically, Eddie Kendricks succumbed to lung cancer on October 5, 1992, at the age of 52. He was laid to rest in Elmwood Cemetery in Birmingham, marking the end of a remarkable career in the world of music. His legacy lives on and continue resting in eternal peace. Thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe and hit the notification button. See you on the next video.